Hey, good morning, everybody. Wanted to share a story. I've been doing some marketing and reached out and had a call with a young man who owns a really nice business. He's in his 30s. He owns a business doing about $5 million. He's making around $700,000. And we had about an hour and a half long conversation, and we were talking about the three legs of the stool of his life, his personal, his financial status, and the health of the business. And largely he had a lot of good things, but because he was young, he didn't have certain things like a disability plan, like disability insurance policy, a succession plan in the event something bad happens, people on bank accounts. We also, in the course of 2 minutes, I think I made him $200,000 more in profit with a sleight of hand trick of the trade that back in my YouTube channel, back in COVID days, I shared with people. If you want to know what it is, call me. And then we talked about, the variety of different exits that he can have. But he has all of his cash sitting in a bank account. Now, fundamental problem with most business owners is they tie up all of their value in their business. And that's because banks treat small business owners really, really poorly. And this guy's signing on every one of his assets personally because banks treat young people badly and banks treat small businesses badly. So we started talking about de-risking himself from the business and staging the business for sale. So that's kind of an exit plan discussion, and love to work on growing that part of my business. But really, really important factor that if you have one of those nice middle market businesses and you're a younger guy or gal, or even middle-aged, my age, one of the things that private equity people ask is, what are you doing next? And you're like, well, why does it matter, right? I don't know, I haven't got this deal done. This deal's gonna take 8 months to get done. I'll figure that out later. If you're on the younger side, the private equity people and the savvy investors get very, very nervous when you don't have a plan and you can't articulate the plan. Because young people, speaking as an old person who was a young person, when they don't have a plan, default back into what they did, what they knew, because your identity is wrapped up in your business. This is the psychology of the deal. So knowing what you're going to do personally with the wealth you take off the table is super, super important. That needs to be talked about and thought about long before you go to market, because it's going to be a factor in the decision making. And I've had people walk from deals because the seller could not articulate what they were going to do, and justifiably so in hindsight. So start thinking about what's next with your life, de-risk your business, and position your business so you have options. There's a great movie, I can't use it because this is a public platform, but there's a great scene in a movie called The Gambler where Mark Wahlberg is talking to John Goodman. John Goodman's a longshark, and he's talking to Mark Wahlberg about, have you ever had $2.5 million, been up $2.5 million? And Wahlberg's like, yeah. And Goodman says, how much you got now? And Wahlberg says, nothing. And Goodman basically berates him, saying, you're an idiot. Any fool knows you're up $2.5 million. You buy your house, you put a 30-year roof on your house, you buy a crappy little car. At that point, you're in a position of, and he used some crass terms, but you're in a position of power at that point. You have enough wealth, with your money in the market at 8% to pay your taxes, that you can pretty much dictate your life. The problem with business owners is they think about their business as their identity, and they wrap their entire identity, along with 80% of their wealth, inside their business, which is scary, because if you can't get it out, that's like having a 401k and you can't pull your money out. So you need to be having these discussions with your advisors. And if your accountants and your financial planners are not having these discussions with you, then you need to make them have these discussions with you. And if they can't and won't, then find somebody that will.